What's up, fight fans? Thank you, as always, for coming through. Much appreciated. And remember, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. Thank you to all the people that watch video after video that I put out. Some are good, some aren't. I know that. But thank you nonetheless for coming to my channel and checking me out. All right, let's talk Carl Frampton versus Nonito Donaire. This fight will take place the same night, believe it or not, as Amir Khan versus Le Greco. There's some big fights in the States as well, so it is a good night of boxing. But I hate the fact that it's the same night as Amir Khan. I kind of think that I'm going to have to be switching channels, which really does piss me off. But nonetheless, it's going to happen. 21st of April, the SSE Arena in Belfast. Carl Frampton will take on former multi-weight champion Nonito Donaire. Remember, this is Carl Frampton's second fight with new management, new trainer, new promoter as well. And the reason I mention it's his second fight is because, look, I don't think Carl Frampton looked good at all against Horatio Garcia. And when was that? I think that was November. Looked sloppy, didn't pick his punch as well. And I'm going to blame that down to the fact that it is a new trainer, it is a new promoter. There was so much going on in his personal life. There still is so much going on in his personal life, but obviously we know a bit more now. So I think all that was just too much for him, and it led to, I think, a very lackluster performance. Plus, add to that, he was, what, 10 months out of the ring. Remember, he's supposed to have that fight that got pulled. So he was 10 months out of the ring, and I think someone like him wants to be a bit more active, right? So I'm going to blame that Horatio Garcia performance on all of that and almost pretend it didn't happen. Because I've seen Carl Frampton up close and personal, and he's a lot better than that. But I think he takes a bit of a risk, I think, with Donaire. People might say Donaire is no longer the Donaire of old. Obviously, we know that. But remember, this is Donaire that lost his second pro fight, which is unbelievable, and then went on a near 12-year run. 12-year run, jumping through the weight classes until he stepped up and fought Rigondeaux. No one wanted Rigondeaux. No one still really wants Rigondeaux, if I'm honest with you, but he stepped up, fought Rigondeaux, put Rigondeaux down in that fight. People might forget that, but obviously he lost convincingly. And then it's kind of been a mixed bag. He's had good wins against Darshinian, but then he got stopped by Nicholas Walters. He's had a couple more good wins as well, and then he got beat by Magdaleno. So he's had a mixed bag. He clearly isn't the Nonito Donaire of old, but nonetheless, this guy still is very, very good and very, very dangerous for a few rounds. I almost look at him as a very good 5-6 round fighter now. Almost like a Zab Judah, but a bit better than that. So he can still bring it. If Carl Frampton isn't what Carl Frampton should be. Look, if the Carl Frampton that turned up to fight Horatio Garcia turns up to fight Nonito Donaire, he could lose. He honestly could lose. Nonito Donaire is extremely experienced. He's beaten who's who. You look at his resume and it's frightening. Honestly, it really is frightening. Obviously, we mentioned Darshinian in there, but this guy's beaten Wilfredo Vazquez, he's beaten Navarez, he's beaten Fernando Montiel. I mean, his record is uber impressive, and for me, he's a Hall of Famer, absolutely. But I just wonder what's left with Nonito Donaire. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good matchup. Carl Frampton needs to box. You know what it is? Carl Frampton's obviously jumped up in weight as well, but he still looks tiny for the weight. I know he said he couldn't make super bantam anymore, but he looks tiny for featherweight. And although Nonito Donaire's come up from a small weight class, Nonito Donaire naturally just looks a lot bigger than him. When they do the head-to-heads, obviously Carl Frampton's short, but just his physique looks a lot bigger. Carl Frampton looks like he's in good moods in his camp. I follow him on Instagram and social media. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter, and it looks like he's enjoying himself, which is good. I think, like I said, he had a lot of pressure on him in the last sort of year and a half, and he looks like he's kind of got rid of all that pressure, got rid of all the shackles, and he's enjoying himself with Jamie Moore. I'm not sure how good Jamie Moore is as a trainer. I still need to see how good he is. Sometimes you can only be as good as what you've got to work with, and finally, Jamie Moore's got a really, really good fighter to work with. So let's see what he does. Let's see what Carl Frampton can do. He's in an extremely good division right now, the featherweight division. Obviously, we've got Leo Santa Cruz. They should do the trilogy, but Leo Santa Cruz, I think, will screw up against Abner Mars. You've got Gary Russell Jr., Oscar Valdez. We saw that fantastic fight with Scott Quigg. We've got Lee Selby versus Warrington. So there's fights, not just internationally, but there's homegrown fights as well that can be big domestic blockbusters. If Lee Selby does beat Warrington, I can see it as an easy fight to make for Frank Warren. Lee Selby versus Carl Frampton. That's a huge fight. And that should be the one that they do next, I think. But I could see how, if you're Carl Frampton, you maybe want them big international fights, all right? You maybe want a Gary Russell Jr., you maybe want a Mars, you want a Valdez or a Cruz. But nonetheless, he has to look good. He has to be impressive. I think he will win, but I think Nonito Donaire will make it very, very difficult for him. I mean that. And again, if it's the Carl Frampton that turned up against Garcia, then he could lose. He really could lose. If it's the Carl Frampton that turned up against Santa Cruz, even in the loss to Santa Cruz, then he should win a comfortable points decision. But guys, what do you make? What do you think of Carl Frampton? Are we starting to see some sort of slippage with him? A little bit. Or is it just a case of, like I said, new trainer, new promoter, new manager, and all the personal issues outside, and that's the reason we didn't get a good performance last time out? What do you think of Nonito Donaire? Again, Hall of Famer, multi-weight world champion. Can he have one last good performance in him? And if he can, is that good performance enough to beat Carl Frampton? Let me know what you guys think. Peace.